Jasmine M. wants to know the current opinion that the UK general public has of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And can you speak on behalf of your fellow countrymen?
Well, I have a very different view to a lot of people. And on the show that I do at home, Loose Women, I'm like the only person who flies the Harry and Meghan flag. And I don't know them. I've met a few of the royals over the years, but I've never met them. But I just think that the amount of bullying by the press, British and American, that woman gets. Remember, she was in those rooms, a lot of them, you know, as a young black American woman. She had a big voice in UNICEF and in the United Nations. She was in a lot of those rooms before Harry. And I just kind of try to fly the flag a bit. You've got to remember that this is a boy who was, you know, was forced at 12 years old to walk behind his mother's coffin. You know, his dad had been unfaithful. And he grew up in that world. And I think for him to want to say his piece is something quite admirable. And so I kind of think that they're in love. He's never been unfaithful to her. You know, the abuse she got for saying that she was mentally ill. I suffered severe postnatal depression, hospitalized after I had Matthew. So I really empathize and sympathize with somebody who was open about that. And she got ridiculed and hated. It's like, what has she really done?
Right.
You know? And every single day she is battered. So I just...
Good answer. Good answer.
Wow, what a shockwaves. Denise Welch, a woman many know from her unapologetically honest presence on Loose Women, did what few in the UK have dared to do on national television. She defended Prince Harry and Meghan Markle without blinking. No caveats, no watered-down sentiments, just raw truth. "I fly the flag for Harry and Meghan," she said boldly, her voice steady but impassioned. And in those few words, she reignited a firestorm that's been quietly burning beneath the surface of Britain's polished royal exterior. Because when Denise Welch speaks, she doesn't echo the palace's well-rehearsed narratives. She speaks for those who've seen behind the curtain and aren't afraid of what's there. Loose Women, a British daytime talk show, has always prided itself on being the voice of the people, diverse, inclusive, and outspoken. But on the topic of Harry and Meghan, it appears the majority of mainstream media has leaned in one direction: smear, ridicule, repeat. Denise Welch, however, stands alone. "I'm the only one on the panel that really speaks up for them," she admitted, "and I don't even know them personally. But I've watched how they've been dragged, humiliated, gaslit by the press, both British and American. It's sickening." In a media landscape where every tabloid seems to be in a race to destroy Meghan's character, Denise has become something of a renegade, and thank God for that. From the moment Meghan stepped into the royal spotlight, she was scrutinised in ways no royal bride had been before. Unlike Kate Middleton, who was gently called Weighty Katie in her early years, but eventually embraced, Meghan's every word, gesture, and even breath was weaponized. She dared to speak about mental health. She dared to say she was suicidal, Denise said. And instead of empathy, she got hate. Let's rewind to that infamous Oprah interview. Meghan's admission that she had felt suicidal was met not with compassion, but a media blitz of disdain. British outlets lined up to question her credibility, accuse her of playing the victim, and demanded she be silent. "It reminded me of when I was hospitalized with postnatal depression," Denise reflected. "I know how scary it is to say you're not okay, and I know what it feels like to be dismissed." And here lies the heart of Welch's fierce defense, not just of Meghan, but of all women who are told to keep quiet, smile, and bear it. Denise didn't stop at Meghan. She turned her attention to Harry, whose trauma has always played out in public. "People forget. This is a man who walked behind his mother's coffin at 12 years old," she said. "Can you imagine the pain of that? The world watching your grief and then being told to carry on like nothing happened." Harry's childhood trauma is well documented. From the paparazzi chasing Diana to her tragic death in Paris, Harry has made no secret of the deep scars that experience left on him. His memoir Spare shed even more light, revealing a man desperate to find peace in a world that denied it to him. "He's never been unfaithful," Denise emphasized. He protects his wife. That's love. That's what a man should do. And they hate him for it. Let's talk about double standards. When Prince William lost his temper in public, the press praised his passion. When Harry did, he was labelled angry or unhinged. When Kate wore expensive fashion, she was celebrated as elegant. When Meghan did, she was called tone-deaf. Denise Welch sees through this hypocrisy. If people really cared about royal values, they'd ask why Andrew still has protection and Harry doesn't. They'd ask why Meghan gets blamed for things others in the family have done worse. Let that sink in. The same press that excused Andrew's ties with Jeffrey Epstein has spent years demonizing a woman whose only crime seems to be marrying a prince and speaking her truth. Let's call it what it is. An obsession. The British press doesn't just cover Harry and Meghan. They stalk them, twist them, torment them. Headlines like, Meghan's fury at royal snub, Harry's Mexit meltdown, Duchess of difficult returns. Every day, another attack. They print lies and call it journalism, Denise said. They bully, they gaslight, they destroy. This isn't just idle celebrity gossip. This is state-sponsored harassment disguised as media. And Welch isn't wrong. Studies have shown Meghan received 10x more negative headlines than her royal peers. Even when she was pregnant, headlines painted her as demanding and cruel, while Kate was celebrated as glowing and graceful. Perhaps the most haunting question Denise poses is, why are more people not speaking up? Where are the royal correspondents defending Meghan's human rights? Where are the other loose women co-hosts with empathy? They're afraid, Denise suggested. Afraid of the tabloids. Afraid of the backlash. But silence is complicity. And she's right. The silence from Buckingham Palace has been deafening. Not once has the Queen or Charles issued a direct statement condemning the racist abuse Meghan has endured. Not once has the royal family defended Meghan with the same force they've defended others. In a world of cowards, Denise Welch has become a warrior. She's faced criticism, online abuse, and threats for her support of Harry and Meghan. But she remains undeterred. Because it's the right thing to do, she says simply. Welch's career has seen its share of battles, from battling addiction to championing mental health. But her defense of Meghan and Harry is perhaps her most courageous stand yet. She has no stake in their lives, no personal gain, just a woman defending another woman, a mother protecting another mother. And that, in itself, is royal. Denise Welch's message isn't just for the press or the royals. It's for all of us. Every person who's watched a woman be torn down for being too loud, too black, too independent, too American. Every person who's ever been told they were too much. It's time to rise. We can't let them destroy another Diana, Denise said, her voice breaking. We lost one already. And she's right. The world watched as the media hounded Diana to death. And now, history is repeating itself. But this time, some are fighting back. The Daily Mail, the Sun, the Mirror, all have built empires on cruelty. But now those empires are being questioned, dismantled and challenged. Not by politicians or princes, but by brave women like Denise Welch. She may not wear a crown, but she carries herself with more dignity than many who do. So to the British press, consider this a warning. There are still truth-tellers among us. Women with voices, and they won't be silenced. At the end of her heartfelt defense, Denise Welch looked straight into the camera and spoke not just to Meghan, but to every woman who's ever been bullied, silenced, or pushed aside. You're awesome. You're awesome. It was raw, it was honest, it was real. Because sometimes in the face of relentless hate, those are the words that save a life. In a media battlefield where truth is often the first casualty, Denise Welch has chosen a side. The side of love, of compassion, of courage. And may we all be brave enough to follow. To all my curious Sussex family. Thank you all for watching, and do not forget to subscribe, like and put a comment. Bye-bye. See you then in the comments section.